What does it mean to have a chronic illness? Because you hear the term thrown around on the news, on media and health, it's pretty popular, chronic illness, chronic disease. But what does that really mean? How do you know if you have it? That's what we're going to talk about in this video today. I'll let you know, like, how do you know if it's a chronic disease? How do you treat it? What are the symptoms, the common symptoms? How do you test for it? And then if you stick with me, by the end, I'm going to show you a really cool symptom checker that you can get online and kind of check out some things before you see your doctor. And also an amazing test that you can take about food sensitivity and chronic illness. I'll tell you about later in the video. So stick around. Let's go. If you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Brett Porter. I do videos once a week, every Friday, all about chronic disease. Chronic disease is defined as a condition that lasts at least 1 year or more and requires ongoing medical attention and limits daily activity, your daily life. That's one definition. The other definition is a condition that lasts at least 3 months and there's no cure or vaccine, which I have a problem with that, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. So, is there one test? Well, no, not really. And yes. Yes, that there is a place to start. And what you want to do is you want to start with your primary care physician, your doctor, and get a CBC, complete blood count. That is the first step you take, and that'll show any indicators if something is off. With that said, if you're not feeling good and your levels are still fine, it doesn't mean you don't have anything. So don't be discouraged by your doctor if he says, the tests are fine, I think you're okay, maybe it's stress. Don't listen to that. You need further testing. So the next step is all depends on your symptom. For example, if you're tired, it might be chronic fatigue. You'll go see a rheumatologist or an infectious disease expert. Usually he'll recommend the specialist. You don't need to know this, but that's an example. A good place to start, and the route I went the traditional route with my regular doctor and see specialists, but I also went with functional medicine team. They're great because they start with a battery of tests, so that they start with all the tests. You don't go see an individual specialist. They're a team of specialists built in, so they just take you through the infectious diseases, all the possibilities. If you're having multiple issues, that is a great way to go. And I'll put a video link so you can check it out. I highly recommend it. I made a video on the topic that tells you about what functional medicine is and functional medicine versus traditional medicine, what you're getting in the functional world that you may not be getting in your traditional practice. So how do you treat chronic disease? How do we cure this thing? There's not a one-size-fits-all treatment. How you treat cancer is going to be different from how you treat diabetes, fibromyalgia, cardiovascular disease. They're all different treatments. So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Now, the universal things that you want to rule out before jumping into doctors and specialists are how's your diet, how's your exercise, how's your nutrition, how's your sleep. If one of those things are off, adjusting that just might fix your problem. Too simple, right? But so many people are affected by one of the big four, that they jump to taking medications because they're not getting adequate sleep. Great, Brett. I knew that before I went into the video. But still, it's worth mentioning. But contrary to popular belief in the traditional medicine world, you can cure chronic diseases. Because most chronic diseases aren't inherited. They're found in the environment. They're found in life. Heavy metals, toxins, mold, tick bites. There's various causes for your chronic illness. Perhaps it's just beating your immune system up for so long. You've accumulated these little hits, as my hematologist called them. You get multiple hits. Finding a good doctor, making sure the big four, the diet, exercise, nutrition, and sleep are in order, and then attacking diagnosis by diagnosis. What is it? How do I treat this? And how do I treat it in the best way for my body? A lot of times they won't show up on a test. It's pain, anxiety, stress, fatigue. A lot of people get sent away with chronic fatigue, sent off, like that's what you have. And sorry, maybe it's lifestyle stress, but underneath it, you're bitten by a tick. You need a specialist to test for it. So what is the best way to manage your chronic disease? The first necessary step is to get going, be active, take control of your health. The longer you wait to find out what those driving factors are that are making you feel bad, the worse you feel, and for the longer you feel. That's what chronic disease is. You feel bad for a long time, and we don't want to feel bad. We want to get those symptoms under control, even while we're treating the disease. Stress management. It's all about the spiritual, the emotional, the positive outlook. But how do we get there? There's group therapy, emotional support. I'll actually put a link to a video to a woman who deals in mental health online. She's great. Tune into her videos. I'll put the link below, but check it out. And that mental health provider can provide you with a treatment plan to support your specific needs, to give you your own personal treatment plan. I said that twice. And I can't stress this enough, but really pay attention to diet, those foods. Because Chronic illness is all about symptom management, and it could be something as simple as you're eating broccoli every day and you shouldn't be eating broccoli because it triggers that fatigue, that brain fog, but you won't know it until you separate the foods. There's a really easy app. I did a couple videos on it. I'll put a link in description, It'll show you just how to manage it, how easy it is. Nobody wants to do that. Jot down their entire diet, look at all the foods, but you know what? You just plug it in the system and it does everything for you. Check out the video. You'll just see how simple it is to actually track your food. But one tool I want to talk about is called Viome. Maybe you've heard of it. Not sure. I hadn't until recently. You can see reviews online, YouTube, Viome. I'll put a link in the description. They send you the test kit, fill out the test, fecal sample, send it back to them. They analyze it in 3 to 4 weeks. You get back a whole array of stuff that'll tell you about what's going on in your body. And what they do is they analyze the individual bacterial strains in your body and how it's reacting to certain foods. And they'll give you a food intolerance list, which is great because we track our food and we know, but now for the first time, we know specifically what foods are affecting us and what foods we need to be eating more of. We don't have to do guesswork. Also, there's a great symptom checker. It's a free online tool that I think is really in depth. If you haven't yet been to the doctor and you have some stuff going on with you and you're curious, this is not your classic MD symptom manager thing that kind of confuses you. It'll tell you like you have a cold or you have cancer or both. Like, Jesus, I can have either one. I'll choose the cold, obviously. But this is great. It goes in depth and it'll give you, a list of stuff that it could possibly be. So for the curious-minded out there, knowledge is power. It's good to know those things. I highly recommend. All right, folks. So again, if you like this video, if you got some value out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button, subscribe, join me, ring the bell so I can notify you every Friday. And let's keep our emotional support going. Drop me a comment. Let me know like if there's something I missed, if there's something you're curious about, or what are your struggles you're going through? Which chronic disease are you fighting right now? How can we help each other? Let's maintain this support network. It's really important, obviously. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.